Welcome to the Parenting Lab podcast. I'm your parent coach, Brittany, and I am here to guide you into the calm, clarity, and connection you're looking for as you transform your parenting from the inside out. Let's get started.
Hey friends, and welcome back to the Parenting Lab. I want to talk to you about something today that I think is quietly sabotaging a lot of parents, and I'm going to call it the lie of either or. It's this idea that in parenting, you have to pick a side. You're either a calm parent or you're the one who loses it. You either love being a mom or you struggle with it. You're either grateful or overwhelmed. This lie tells us that only one feeling is valid at a time. And if you have the wrong one, it must mean that something is broken in you. But here's the truth. You are allowed to hold what seem like contradictory feelings at the same time. You can be exhausted and energized, full and empty, happy and sad, overtouched and underfelt, invisible and deeply seen. These are not contradictions that need to be fixed. Really what they are is invitations to live more fully and to have a layered, complex, nuanced, and really beautiful emotional experience. From the time we're little, we're trained to simplify our feelings. Are you happy or sad? Do you like it or not? The world loves clear categories. And so we grow up believing that the right thing to do is to choose between these two options, this either or. I see this all the time when I'm teaching my preschool students about opposites, because in the physical world, opposites are pretty clear. A light can't be on and off at the same time. You can't be asleep and awake at the same time. Something is either full or empty, hot or cold, fast or slow, right? And so from a young age, we get this idea that two things that seem opposite cannot exist together. But here's the thing. While that's true for the physical world, it is not true in the emotional world. In the emotional world, there aren't true opposites. There are only contradictory feelings. You can feel happy and sad at the same time. You can feel proud and disappointed at the same time. You can feel grateful and resentful in the same breath. When we confuse opposite with contradictory, we start believing the lie of either or. This lie that says you have to pick one feeling and toss the rest of them out. By the time we become parents, this habit is really, really deeply ingrained in us. So when we feel something complex, like fierce love for our child and total frustration in the same moment, we might feel guilty. We might think, if I feel frustrated, I must not be loving enough. But here's the thing. Our brains are wired to hold nuance. Our adult nervous systems can manage competing emotional states. In fact, being able to do that is a sign of emotional capacity and maturity. Now, children, on the other hand, struggle with this dichotomy of emotion. They find it really difficult to balance more than one emotion at the same time, which is often the root of challenging behavior. This past year in my preschool class, I had a little girl, one of my students, come up to me and she was crying, super upset, because her friend had told her she didn't want to be her friend anymore and she hated that friend now. Of course, I got curious. What the heck happened to destroy this 3-year, lifelong friendship in the last 5 minutes? Well, it was all because of a flip phone and a game of family that didn't include everyone. One little girl loved her friend but needed space to play with someone new and didn't know how to say that, so she said she didn't want to be friends anymore. And then the other little girl took the phone, tossed that H word right back at her, and now everyone is crying. There are lots of feelings going on at once here, right? We have love, anger, independence, rejection, hate, hurt. But their little 3-year-old bodies weren't able to process those contradictions. So we do it together, which sounded something like, so you love your friend, but sometimes you want to play with other friends at school, huh? And you love your friend, but it hurts your feelings when she says she doesn't want to be your friend. You know, you can be hurt and mad and miss her all at the same time, and that's okay. And you can love her and also not have to play with her. right? So this is a very, very common conversation that I have in a preschool setting. And it's moments like this that are laying the groundwork for more age-appropriate emotional intelligence in the future. In the same way, parenting constantly invites us into this space where contradictions live. And when we stop fighting that and really lean into this multiplicity of emotions, something inside of us shifts. So let's bring this into this messy and beautiful reality of parenting. I want to give you a few examples of what this really looks like to lean in, like I said, into these and moments, these spaces where many things are true all at once. All right, so example 1. You're at bedtime with your toddler. You've been touched all day. You've been asked for snacks 47 times. You've negotiated more than a diplomat in a war zone. You are at your limit. And you still lean in for one last snuggle because you know this stage won't last forever. Can you remember those feelings? Okay, example 2. You're proud of your teenager for speaking up to their teacher, and you're kind of worried about how that might affect their grades. All right. Example 3. You love spending weekends with your kids, the games, the picnics, the play dates, but you also miss the quiet of your old life. You adore your baby, and sometimes you feel a wave of grief for the freedoms that you had before they were born. Okay, so notice that none of these really cancel each other out. It isn't either or, right? They coexist. And when you stop trying to choose just one valid feeling, you start to make space for this whole human experience for yourself and for your kids. So this middle space, this and space, is where compassion and surrender and acceptance and intention all intersect. When you reject that lie of either or, you give yourself permission to be both imperfect and deeply loving. You stop rushing to fix feelings and you start learning from those feelings. And you teach your kids that it's okay to feel joy and sadness, pride and fear, and countless other emotions all at once. When kids grow up seeing this modeled, they don't learn to shut down their complexity, but they instead learn that being human is not about choosing a side. It's about holding the whole truth. If living in this and space feels new to you, I'm going to give you a few ideas of where you can start to do this that might start to feel really authentic. So the first one is that you need to name both truths out loud. All right, so this is just a matter of putting vocabulary to the emotions that are swirling around. I'm so proud of you, and I'm nervous about what's coming next. I'm so tired, but I'm really, really glad that we're here together, right? It's just a matter of naming both truths. Okay, the second thing is that you need to notice your body cues. Sometimes your chest feels heavy while your face is smiling. That's your body holding that and, all right? So really pay attention to your nervous system and how it's playing out in your physical body. The third thing is take a breath or a beat before you choose, all right? So in those tense moments, just take a minute, even just a quick second, take a deep breath and tell yourself, it's okay. Both of these things can be true right now. And the last thing is just take a reflection at the end of the day. Write down or just really ponder the and moments in your day. The more you focus on recognizing them, the more clearly you're going to be able to see the patterns in your emotional responses. And with this new awareness, you'll be able to understand yourself better and retrain your nervous system and literally rewire your brain to respond differently. Okay? So a few years ago, we took our kids on an epic trip to Europe for Christmas. I had such high expectations and hopes for this trip, you guys, because I felt like, honestly, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and something I had dreamed of my entire life. And I will tell you right here up front, it was not a great experience, at least not like I had wanted. Things had been really tense with my kids, who were both teenagers at the time, and it came to a head on Christmas Eve. My feelings were hurt on the deepest level, and I was in an absolute tailspin of emotions and limiting beliefs and insecurity and shame, and it was probably the worst and lowest moment in my parenting. But Christmas morning came, and I pulled myself together, and we hit the streets of Rome to sightsee and enjoy the holiday. And let me tell you, it was an amazing day. So many things were knocked off my bucket list. We explored that beautiful city, and I loved it. And Okay, so here's the and. And it was one of the hardest days of my mothering life. It was both. I held both the grief and the joy, the hurt and the thrill of being in this city that I love. I look back at pictures of that time and I have so much love for that version of me that was broken and brave, too tired to go on in one space and ready to walk for miles in another. I have learned to love the space in between and to embrace it as I navigate my emotional world. So here is my challenge to you this week. When your brain tries to box your day into either good or bad, I want you to stop and really genuinely ask yourself, what else is true right now? You might find that frustration is sitting right next to gratitude, and that exhaustion is holding hands with love, and that your heart can be both breaking and hopeful in the same breath. All right? The lie of either or keeps us small. But when we step into the and, we step into a sense of wholeness. And when we live more fully in that way, our kids learn that they can do that too. So thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to hear your and moments. So please come and share them with me in the comments or come over on Instagram and share them with me there. As always, I hope that you will join me next week, where we will continue to explore the art and science of parenting and put your parenting to the test. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Parenting Lab podcast. For our complete catalog of online courses, free resources, or to join our mailing list, please visit theparentinglab.org. See you next time.